In this lesson, we'll take a look at how to get started with Typst locally. To use Typst locally, we may want to use some software, such as a code editor. In this case, the main software we'll be using is VSCodium. If you're a developer, you may know something called VS Code, which is very similar. However, VSCodium attempts to remove telemetry. We'll also need the Tinymist Typst extension, and we'll install this through VSCodium. The Tinymist Typst extension provides syntax highlighting for types and some other useful features such as a preview that we'll be using. I've provided the links to these software here on the screen, and they should also be in a description near this video. So let's try installing VSCodium, for example. If you go to VSCodium.com, you should see a screen that looks like this. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see that VSCodium, part of the why that it's built, is because telemetry is attempted to be disabled. If you scroll down further, you'll see a giant download latest release button. If you're using Windows or Mac OS, you'll want to click this button. If you're using Linux, you can scroll down further to view a package manager that may be able to install VSCodium. For example, for Mac, if you have Homebrew, you can install it with this command, or winget if you have Windows or Chocolatey. Scoop is also available for Windows, and so on. If you're unsure about all of those, just click this giant button, and then you'll be shown a screen that looks like this. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see a table. In this table, you'll see the various operating systems that you may have, such as Windows or Mac OS, and also the CPU architecture, such as x86, or if you scroll down further, then ARM. So if you're using Windows, you may want to install the .msi file, which might have updates enabled or disabled, and click one of these to install it. If you're using macOS, you'll probably want to use the ARM version if you're on Apple Silicon for your CPU, and then you can install one of these files here. For Linux, there are also the other files available. Based on your CPU architecture, you can choose one. When you install VSCodium, you'll see a screen that kind of looks like this. You might see some different colors. That's because I have a theme installed. If you go to the left panel here and click on Extensions, then you'll want to search for Tinymist Typst. This way we can install the Tinymist Typst extension by clicking the search result here by Myriad Dreamin', and then there should be an install button here that you should click to install it. I already have it installed, so we'll continue from here. You can click the Explorer tab on the left panel here, and then click Open Folder to choose a folder where you want to store your Typst files. In this case, I have a folder called Typst Examples that I'll be using, so I'll open this folder. And then from here, if we go to the left panel, you can see this new file button. So we'll want to click that, and you'll want to write the file name. You can write whatever you like, but make sure it ends with .typ. For example, here I'll call it main, and the extension is .typ. That's how Typst files have their extension handled. Press enter to create the file, and now you should see this editor here that you can type in. If you click the preview button over here, or on the right panel here with this magnifying glass where it says Typst Preview, then you should see a panel open up on the right, which will be the document that gets rendered as you type here in the editor. So for example, you could type something such as this is a sentence, and what happens is the sentence gets rendered on the right here, as if it was a PDF document. You'll also want to save what you just wrote. To save, you can click Ctrl S if you're on Windows or Linux, and perhaps Command S on Mac OS. Once you save your file, this circle over here by the file name should disappear. So now I've saved my file and that circle disappeared. Now we can compile Typst locally using our now installed VSCodium and Tinymist Typst extensions.